Gentlemen, hello. I'm far off of what I would consider fully being a man, but there are a few things that I've done in my life, and I will continue to do more of, that are getting me closer and closer to that. So first of all, let me give you my, gripes, my contentions with just the fucking once you're 18, you turn into a man, that's it. And also some things that people may do that they think is like, oh yeah, this is good, harden me up, this is fucking tough as shit. And then it's maybe not that compared to previous generations, other countries that don't have the same amenities as we do, shit like that. First off, just turning 18, there are so many 18-year-olds who, I don't know, I wouldn't consider they've developed into men, either physically, either mentally. I don't know, their diet is shit, they don't train, they don't exercise, maybe they're, they just don't really go through challenge, they just go to, I don't know, community college as a default. Not a lot of responsibilities. And even though they're 18, they're legally an adult. It's really? Are you actually an adult? There are some people who took on that responsibility, mostly those who moved out of their parents' house to a different separate college to where they dorm separately, and that's obviously a very, very new experience. I don't know what that's like. I will know what that's like in 2 months, but these people are more aligned with that and have developed into more fully fledged out human beings now. So just turning 18 doesn't make you a man. I know, shocker. Turning I think just any age, it's kind of it's more what you do. So basically, another thing is going to the gym and resistance training does not make you tough. It's so easy to, what's it called? Honestly, okay, to train like Jeffrey Verity Schofield does, where it's truly just a failure and you fucking summon up every demon, whatever. Yeah, that's very difficult. But even he admits that the cardio he did, the long distance running he did, was infinitely harder than every single fucking 20 rep squat, myo rep, or whatever else. So resistance training to build muscle is just not very difficult in terms of you can take it very, very far. You can take it to psychotic levels, but the way that most people do it is just not that difficult in terms of just on the absolute scale, right? And the way that most people train, what I said is that it's super, super easy to be this fucking guy who just I don't know, meal preps. Actually, no, meal prepping is cool because that's a responsibility. I don't know, maybe just eats some fucking high protein, but they don't really think about the nutrients otherwise. Yeah, it's very easy to just eat high protein and then train kind of hard and then fucking spam curls, spam bench, and then you develop the very nice shelf and biceps, very nice. But that's not terribly, that's not a horribly difficult thing to do either in terms of on a absolute scale in life. And there are a lot of people who go to the gym, but mentally maybe they're not the strongest. They haven't really experienced much. And this isn't a cope of oh yeah, guys, cardio is harder than the gym, because I'm not trying to be one of these people who are also the people who are the fighters in Instagram comments saying yeah, but I bet I could beat the fuck out of him under a bodybuilder. It's MMA bros when someone who doesn't compete in their sport is worse than them at the sport. So I'm not trying to be one of those people either. What I am saying, however, is that as far as sports go, please don't turn, thank you. As far as sports go, if you consider going to the gym, well, it's a physical activity. You can lump it in with other sports. It's not that difficult. It's not that difficult compared to the rest. So, what are these things that actually develop you into a man? 4 minutes and 20 seconds into the video, haha, lol, funny number, weed. What does develop you into a man that I've experienced? So, number one thing is going for an uncomfortable period of time without pretty basic amenities. For now, as of now, internet is pretty basic. Running water, electricity. Basically, going overnight camping, or even for longer, and especially if the way to get there is grueling. This has been fucking difficult, This is, let me tell you, well, if you're with your friends, it can be more of a very fun thing, but it's still difficult. So I was at a camp in Canada, and basically what we did was we rowed out manually or kayaked out in this bay, nice motorcycle at 8:05 a.m. or 8:08 a.m. So basically we kayaked out onto this island, we set up the tent, we there were a bunch of canned stuff, and food was made from that. Then we obviously slept over there. This is a group of like 12 kids. I mean like 14 to 18, or like, holy shit, the age range was like 12 to 18. It was big. But basically, when you're there, it's like, if you have to piss, you just go, oh yeah, oh my goodness gracious. Yeah, there was also a porta potty there that was like so disgusting. That was, I think, maybe the worst smell I've ever smelled, or like the second worst smell I've ever smelled in my fucking life was over there. It was absolutely awful. And some of the people there said, oh, it's not even that bad. So I shudder to think of what else those people have smelled before in their lives. Basically, if you want to take a shit, I just didn't. Honestly, thank the Lord in heaven above that I didn't have to, because I don't know if I physically would have survived in the accommodations that were there. You have to take a piss, you just go in the wood, and it's dark, and it's cold, and it's wet, and it's scary. So, and then you use some epic hand sanitizer, and you lumber back onto your tent, and then you just lay down in the ground. Something really, like, two things that are really scary happened because we did 2 overnight trips. I think this happened both times. Basically, my right eye hurt like fucking shit. It was so awful. Just in the middle of the night, randomly, I would wake up. And then one of my teeth was fucking, like, I think it was this one. It was just it was beautiful pause frame. I'm sure you got there. It just felt malleable. Like, it hurt like a bitch. And it felt like if I wanted to, I could just move it. So yeah, weird things happen when you sleep on an uneven ground. But, and obviously just like terrain. But the camaraderie there and the mental fortitude of people, because the tent isn't going to build itself. Like, the forest isn't going to, like, clear itself out a path for you to just set up in. Okay, never mind. Thought I saw something, but no. Basically, all of these things you have to do for yourself. And obviously we had a bunch of people to help us do this. But even so, like, we went for a swim in the same lake. Not obviously, because I should have told you, it was like, I think next to a sewage facility or like a sewage treatment something. Because all of our clothes, honestly, I think I still have to, I still have the pants that were on me then. But some of the clothes you just have to fucking toss after, because the smell was so atrocious. And it was definitely from the water. It was like some contaminated, infected water. I'm very, very glad I didn't get a disease from that. So, it's just, you get no basic amenities. You get some nice bottled water, and that's pretty much it. And you have to carry all your gear, obviously. And there's no guarantee of anything, because you're not going to fucking scroll there. You're not going to free build in Fortnite there. There's no guarantee of anything. Obviously, it was safe and it was controlled. But the less safe and controlled you make it, I think the more it develops you, because then the less assurances that you have. And if you do make it through it, then you're like, oh shit, look what I can do. So basically, that's one of the instances. And also the way back, I think the way back was by far the hardest. In that, so how do I say this? On the way back, we were kayaking. The rain was like absolutely ridiculous. It was so atrocious. The conditions were awful. It was literally like Sea of Thieves. SOT, bus hop. That's bus hopping. You're welcome. So, I was literally just thinking, the way I got through it, I was just like thinking of Bismarck by Sabaton, just like for fucking an hour and a half or like 2 hours that we were like rowing. Maybe now that I can row more in the gym, maybe that would help me. The gym does help you, it's just like not in itself. It does not in itself fully, it's not enough physically to develop you. But basically, So we were rowing for a very long time in that very shit-ass weather. And so once we got back to our lodgement, which was amazing because it was on the campus of a university in Canada, which is it was like, that was flawless. When we got back, finally there was hot running water. That it's gonna sound cringe, but that first shower back was so blissful and epic, and you just don't get that from being like, oh yeah, I'm a fucking top G, I just hit 3x10 on squats, and it's like, it's not even remotely comparable. You're all huddled in fucking a van on the way back once you're done with the rowing, and then you just the feeling of accomplishment, you're just fucked, you're absolutely spent, but the feeling of accomplishment is great. Then the second one I'm going to go over pretty quickly is when I worked for, this is last week, when I worked for a wedding. It was a 12-hour shift, 12 and a half hour shift from 11 a.m. to like 11:30 p.m. And so I missed a day of school for that. Fuck you to the education system. Let's see if there's a dog here. There's usually a dog here. Not a dog, the dog. There's usually the very cute dog here. He was not here today, it's okay. Basically, there was a 12-hour shift, cooking, so prepping, fucking serving the food, fucking doing whatever. And basically, the boss, when the boss got in, I don't know if you want to call it head chef, basically the owner of the place, first got in, there was something wrong with the parking situation, and the way he fucking, like, all those memes where Gordon Ramsay yells at people, and it's like, oh, why are they so offended? Why does it look like they're about to cry? When this guy fucking started doing his antics, when this guy first came in, and then he was chill, but like someone messed up his parking, and then he was not too happy about that. When I tell you that I felt like I was gonna fucking piss myself because of how loud this guy was yelling, it was like literally some fight or flight that you don't get from many other places. It was like, and it was in my native tongue as well, which was like added to the fun. Is this? Thanks. And so it was just like, and then after that nice 12-hour shift, and by the end of it, honestly, I was energized. Like, I was fine. The day after was our prom, and I was pretty much good. Oh yeah, I made a video on that day. So yeah, you can tell that I was in fact energized by the end of that. When you do something like that, it really does something that you just can't replicate in the gym. Another thing, I think martial arts is harder. Sorry, I just do. I just think martial arts is, maybe I don't know how to train, but I do think martial arts is harder than training in the gym because you're fucking exhausted. You usually do some form of running or some form of cardio before you go into your techniques. Then you do a bunch of stretches. Early on, nowadays not so much, but early on we did such fucking intense stretching where we literally would like go into splits and then pull each other further into the splits, and that was great. And you just can't replicate that with like, oh, I did 3. What the fuck was that face I made? It was like an alternate Mandela catalog. Holy shit. Okay, ignore that. And that you can't replicate with just like, oh, I did fucking 3x12 Romanian deadlift. It's like, great job. Basically, these are some of the things that, in my opinion, develop you into a man. Way more than what some people may think, which is just, oh, go lift, go bench. Again, I'm still definitely not there, and I need a bunch more of these experiences, probably some harder ones as well, but these are the ones that I feel have contributed a lot. It's also not an inclusive list, an all-inclusive list, or what do they call it, an exhaustive list, but, man, like, this is a very good start. If you can get, like, the equivalent of this in your life, this is a very good start, for, whatever. Hold on, let me just cover up. There's a sock that I used to cover up the dash cam. I know. Ladies, one at a time. High quality protective equipment. No, but it works. You put the sock over the dash cam and it's just fucking fine, and then this is to block out the sun, so the dashboard doesn't get actually melted. Although I don't think today I'll need it, but never be. You can never be too safe. So, thank you very much for watching. Oh yeah, I have a product. Go buy it. Down below, link in the description, or link in one of my other videos. Okay, thank you very much for watching. Have a great day.